In this video, I want to talk about the difference between taking an average and then rounding the value afterwards versus simply a number format. So here's what I mean by that. Right over here, I have the average function, and I'm taking an average of the yield here, right? So E5 through E27. The number that's being displayed is displaying 2 decimal points. And I can fix that by increasing or decreasing the decimal, and then it's actually going to change the value of that number. So for instance, if I do it one more time, instead of 0.41, it's 0.409. If I increase it again, well, now I get 4091, 40909. And so what do I see here is the actual number that average is calculating, and who knows how far out that goes, right? I can also remove all of those, and then it looks like 170. So students of Excel, or who are new Excel, really get freaked out when they see 170 and somebody else in their class has 170.41. Why am I getting different answers? No. You are all getting the same answer. It's what am I displaying? Okay. So also what's interesting, right down here, I am going to just take 1 plus that number. Okay. So 1 plus B6. Of course, right here, I get 171.41, but if I were to move it this way, I've added 1, and it looks like I'm getting a different number. Again, it's only because of how many decimals I'm displaying. All right. Now, let's talk about the round function. Let me just type it out real quick here so you can see it. First things, the round function only wants 2 things. The first thing is a single number. It says, give me a number, comma, and tell me how many digits you want me to round it to. 2 digits, 1 digit, 0 digits, how many digits? But the point is it wants a single number. So if I run over here, hang on, let me hit escape. I am going to increase the decimals on this. Remember, this was my formula where I just got 1 plus that. Okay, so now I am going to run over here and wrap this average function in the round function. Oops, I didn't mean to hit the plus sign there. So I'm taking the round function, and remember the round wants a single number. Well, guess what the average is? The average returns a single number. And then right after the average, I'm going to go comma 0. Round it to 0 decimal places. Okay, so it's taking that single number, which used to be 170.409090 whatever, and now it's going to make it 170.00. And no matter how many decimals I increase or decrease, it's always 00. So the number sitting in that cell is now 0.00. And then, of course, 1 plus that number, and no matter how many decimals I show, it's 00. So round actually changes the physical answer of the returned function. It's changing it to only show, if you will, to store in the cell the number of digits that you ask it to. If I change this to a 2, enter, then of course it goes 0.41 and all the rest are zeros and 0.41. But don't forget, it doesn't affect how I display. I could still display this to 0 decimals, and it's going to look exactly like the average without the round function displayed to 0 decimals. Okay, so hopefully I'm not confusing you on that. The other issue I've seen students do, and I'll put it over here, is they will take the round function. I forgot to type my equal. Okay, and they will round, like say I'll do this block of cells to, let's just make it to 2 digits. Okay, so but the problem is the round function wants a single number, and you just gave it a range. It doesn't know what to do with that. So basically what it does is it takes the value that it's current of the cell that it's currently sitting next to, 176, and it rounded it to 2. Okay, now notice I'm displaying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, the display has nothing to do with the round function. If I were to run down here and go equal round, same thing, grab that whole range. It's like, well, I don't know why you're giving me this whole range, but, and if I say round it to 2, it's taking the one that it's next to and just displaying that. And by the way, it just happened to be formatted to display 2. I could make it display 3 or 4. Whoops, I got 2 cells selected, but I could make it display 3 or 4 if I want. And the reason I'm demonstrating that is because when we start talking nested functions, I've had students do this. They will take an average of the round. Well, what does the round return? It returns a single number, even if you put in a whole range, which it doesn't want. It wants a single number. So it returns a single number. And so I'm going to hit yes. I just forgot a parenthesis is all. So that function, I'm going to take a round of that whole range. And what's the average? Well, the round returned, remember, it returns a single number, 176. What's the average of one number? It is the number. So doing average with the round inside doesn't make sense. I mean, you're not going to get an error, but you're not doing anything. You're just taking an average of a single number. So there's no point in doing that. So normally the round will go on the outside of the average function, just like we did over in this cell. Because the average returns a single number, and then we're going to round off that number to 2, 3, 0, whatever you need, by putting comma and then the value for the number of digits. So hopefully that's not too confusing. But so in summary, just recognize that the round doesn't affect how many decimals you display. It affects how many digits to the right of the decimal are stored in that cell. Once they're stored, I can choose to increase or decrease the number of decimals displayed, which is a different thing. So that's it. Thanks for watching.